quick.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jackson, he's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special, because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense. And they were there to help force the incompletion.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, Watson. Now this goes out wide for Drake. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Watson now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. Oh, the return is Jones. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. bit slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Throwing left side, and Watson has it. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. They will face a 2nd and 9 now following the penalty. Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Play action. It's Jackson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
And first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and then angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They better be careful just getting it back to the 1-yard line. This defense, they're smelling safety right now.
And this isn't all about the offensive line. This is about everyone understanding you're trying to get away from your own goal line. And those guys on the other side of the ball, they're going to actually call it and try and get upfield and try and get a safety. They've got to be extremely careful.
Second down, they go again with Henry. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. In motion right is Jones. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. He's up to the 20, and he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you can get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Good gain on first. Has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. The tight end Henry here in motion. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Jet first down. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
A run with Henry on first down, but nowhere to go there as he can't even get back to the line of scrimmage. We're scoreless after one. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it second down and 11. Now it's Watson. And the pass to Henry is intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Ravens are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now first and 10 right at the 50-yard line. A give running left, McAllister. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on second and 12. They'll run up the middle with McAllister. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Jackson now. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Jets are going to get the football here at their own 23. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away?
And Henry's hit. He lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Watson's throw here into the hands of Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
Julio Jones here in Tennessee never really got going as he continued to battle injuries that followed him over from Atlanta. He believes he still has a couple of big seasons left in his career, and one more of those could see him climbing to the top 10 or even the top 5 all-time in receiving yards.
Faking the give. Now Watson. 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 30 yards there. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now on 2nd and 13, Watson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Well, mistake there by the offense, Charles. They tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick 6.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tabbed as one of the best in the league the prior season.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. From the 27, Watson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
To throw is Watson. Open man is Ayuk, complete. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Watson on first down. Dancing to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. throwing on first down. It's Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They go play action with Jackson. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Now Jackson on first down. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Romeo Doubs, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Ravens go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw, Watson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Jones will come now in motion right. Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Alert!
In motion right is Jones. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
On 1st down, it's Watson.
This will go to Henry out wide.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Dorsett, the man in motion. On 1st and 10, Watson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
Jones will come now in motion right. On 1st down, Watson. Under pressure, they got him again. Zadarius Smith in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It'll be a 51-yard attempt. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
Brett Maher is set to kick off.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll have a Jets first down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line.
There you go, partner. That's some old-school football right there. You need 1 yard? Give it to your bruiser fullback and let him get the job done.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
In motion right is Jones. From the gun on third, Watson. Man open, and St. Brown has got it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Ravens are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. He hits Dobbs on the crosser. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. From midfield now, here's Jackson. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Brett Maher is set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Maher to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Julian Blackmon.
Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
2nd and 10, third quarter of the season opener.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On 2nd and 10, Jackson.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Jets force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that gets through that interception.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
From his end zone, Watson on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's the Jets punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game.
Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. So that, Charles, maybe the play that this defense has been looking for.
They've hung in there, and if they lose this game, it won't be from a lack of effort on their part. The key question is, can the offense finally do something, because we're into the third quarter, and a 0 is still glowing on the scoreboard.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10.
The slot man in motion right.
Henry again on 2nd down.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Derrick Henry, a 10-yard touchdown run.
And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And 7. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting at a great spot, up 2 scores here in the third quarter. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. On second and a yard, Jackson. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Up the middle they go with McAllister. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Completed out left to Dobbs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Romeo Dobbs making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Ravens are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. 33 yards that time.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Jones will come now in motion right. Now a 1st down throw, Watson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Watson. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That one good for 37 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
Henry again.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
2 things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
They'll run for it with Henry. Fighting his way in for a Jets touchdown. Derrick Henry with career touchdown number 70.
And the Jets have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. All right, so this one not quite over yet. Back to a 2-score game, CD.
Yeah, and you've still got 4+ minutes to go, so when you think about comebacks, it's happened before. Now, it hasn't happened often, but you've got to think to yourself, let's be the next great comeback story and play this one out.
Folk connects on the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
No run back here for Jones. A touchback.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Velus Jones now from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full confidence.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Sneed. And the Jets are right back in this football game.
A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over. Now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be...
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Zadarius Smith. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Dorsett, the man in motion. 2nd and 5 now. Watson. Open man, the tight end Henry. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Hunter Henry. 32 yards.
And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And partner, we got a tie game here in the 4th. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away.
Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
And they'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Another run with McAllister. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A handoff to McAllister. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40.
42 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. On 3rd down, they'll run it with McAllister. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Jackson to throw.
He's going to have his running back. It's complete.
And they will get the conversion on 4th down to stay alive, but time not an ally.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Jackson. A throw left side taken in by Kmet.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
2nd and 5.
Escaping Petty, can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Throwing, Jackson. He's got a man, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And they will play it safe here and bring this one out to the 25.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Charles, you think back to halftime, they had the big lead. They were in control of this game. They lost that lead. But ultimately right now, with the ball in overtime, a chance to win this thing.
And you know each guy's telling his teammate, just let it go. Don't worry about it. We're starting fresh right here. What happened before does not matter. What happens right now and going forward, that's what matters. Let's find a way to win this game.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Probably thinking they got to be careful not to force anything here in overtime. This is 3rd and a mile right now. Play action. Now Jackson steps away. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away.
Fielded at the 33. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete.
On the move past the 40.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
And Henry's hit. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder, maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here, field goal or a touchdown now. Tackle coming from the safety, Trey Flowers. This being their second opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive. See if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
Here's Jackson. Able to find Kmet.
It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. On the give, McAllister with it. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
53 yards rushing for him now as he was just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this overtime in week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I'll bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
Now Jackson. Able to find Jones.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Now it's Jackson.
Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime.